Okay, we have a question here. You are the CEO of an airline company and want to track your customer satisfaction. From surveys taken by the passengers, you gather the following data. So from 1990 to 2015, so today, we have the percent satisfaction of the people who are flying with our airline. So we started out in 1990 at 15%, super low, and we have raised all the way to 21%, or 71%, excuse me. So the marketing team is making a commercial for the airline and wants to acknowledge the growth the company has made in customer satisfaction. They want to include an estimate of customer percent satisfaction in the year 2020 to use in the commercial. How would you estimate this? So in 5 years, they want to market in the commercial that their customer satisfaction is going to be super high. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to graph this as a function in Desmos. Now I'm starting with year 1990, so I'm just going to say, let's first get into Desmos here. So I'm going to add a new tab, and I'm just going to go to desmos.com, desmos.com, and it's going to come up like this, and I'm just going to choose the big red button, Launch Calculator. Okay, so here in Desmos, I am going to go to this little add item, a plus sign in the upper left-hand corner, click on it, and I have a table. If I had an equation, I would click this expression for the equation. But since I have a table in this question, I'm going to click table. Now, here's my table. I have my x values and y values. But here I have years and percentages. So my x values, I'm going to delete these because they're not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My x values start at 1990. Now I'm going to say that I'm going to start x at 0. So I'm going to say that this is years after 1990. So if I'm starting at 1990, I'm starting at 0. That means 1995, 5 years have gone by. So I have a 5 years for x. That means in 2000, 10 years have gone by. So I'm putting 10 here. In 2005, 15 years have gone by since our 1990. And then 2010, I have 20 years, and then add one more box down here for 25 years. Now I'm wanting to estimate 2020, so that's a good 30 years, but I only know these points. So these are the only ones I'm going to input. So that means I have 15, 20%. So this airline must be doing something right, because all the customers are getting happier and happier of taking this airline. And we're going to see what this graph looks like. Now, where's the graph? I can't see the graph. Well, that doesn't make sense. But always look at your axes. So right now, I'm like at 2, 4, 6, 8. My numbers are higher than that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I can't see that. So I'm going to zoom out and try and find my graph. I'm going to go to this little arrow. It says zoom. And I'm going to zoom out. Zoom out. And I'm going to keep clicking zoom out until I can see my points. There they are. Okay. So now I'm thinking it makes sense that I have no negative values. So I'm just going to you can also kind of scoot your graph over to where you want. So I'm literally clicking down and pulling down on the graph. I'm scooting it over because I'm not going to have negative values. I'm not going to have negative years. And I'm not going to have a negative percent satisfaction. So here we go. Here's my graph in our positive values. Or if you want to actually change the graph, you can go to this tool here, Graph Settings. And here we have our x-axis. We can just say the x-axis is going to go from 0 to my highest x value is 25. So I'm just going to say, let's just say 40. And then my y values range from 15 to 71, but remember my y values are that percent satisfaction. So percentages, I'm going to go from 0 to 100. Or let's just say 110 so we can kind of see the the whole picture here. Okay, so we're done with that, so I'm just gonna click the graph to get out of there. And I have my points here. Now, in order to predict what this point is going to be in 2020, so that would be somewhere over here, I have to figure out what type of line this is going to be. So right now, it looks exponential. It looks like they're increasing exponentially. So I'm going to click on another box here. And, okay guys, here's the part that students will forget. When you put y, you have to put y and then the number 1. The reason why you have to put y1 is because here all of my values are in under y1. And instead of just putting x, I'm going to have to put x1. Don't forget that. All right, here's the other hard part. Instead of putting an equal sign, we don't want an equal sign because the function doesn't exactly equal this exponential function. It's an approximation. So, approximation is the squiggly above the tab key. So, you can't just press that squiggly or else you'll get that apostrophe. You have to press shift and then the squiggle. Shift, squiggle, shift, squiggle. Okay, you only need one. Okay, now our general form for an exponential function is a, b, and then the x is in the exponent. So to do an exponent on your keyboard, if you have this little keyboard up here, then you can do your exponent with this little AB term, or you can do a caret. So a caret above, so the same as the 6 key on your computer, will also do an exponent. But I'm going to press this AB, and then now that my cursor is in the exponent, I'm going to put x1. Don't forget to put the x1 or else it won't work. It has to be x1 because these are our x1 values. Alright, I'm going to exit out this keyboard so we can see this. Here's my beautiful exponential function. So the question was, so these are my percentages. My points are here. I want to figure out in 2020, so that's my next, that's in 30. So I can put when x1, so when x is equal to 30, that means that y is going to be 96.15% satisfaction. That's pretty darn good. So in 5 years, 96% of the people will love flying that airline. So in a commercial, this would be a great thing to kind of prove your point, and you're proving this, it's a fact, because you're approximating it through mathematics. So our answer in 2020 would be 96.15% customer satisfaction. If I wanted to figure out in what year would I have, let's say, in what year? So, or no, sorry. Let's say, yeah, in what year am I going to have a customer satisfaction of 85%? So let's say you're the CEO and you're like, okay, everyone, you're working so hard. If we improve our company and get a customer satisfaction of 85%, then we'll get a $5,000 bonus at the end of the year. So that means when remember my y values are the percentages. So I'm going to say, well, when y is equal to 85%, at what year am I going to get that $5,000 bonus? That means this point here, that means 28.03. 28.03 years, what does that mean? Remember that our 0 point was at 1990. So that means 28.03 years after 1990. So that means in 2018, in January, so in 2018, I did 1990 plus 28, I'm going to get my $5,000 bonus. And I can pretty much count on that because when using the same exact trend, if the company continues to grow as it does, then that's the projected year that I'm going to get that bonus. Okay, I hope this helps in modeling things in Desmos and solving exponential function problems. Good luck, guys.